What's with the Omicron variant? Everything we know about the COVID-19 mutation. Last week, news broke that a new COVID-19 variant is on the scene. They're calling it Omicron. And even the name itself comes with some drama. It seems the World Health Organization skipped 2 letters in the Greek alphabet to get to the new variant. New was up next, but the experts thought that would be confused with NEW, new, so they dropped that one. Then came she. That one had to be skipped because she just so happens to be the last name of the leader of the Chinese Communist Party. As we know from the days of the Trump administration, it is very important to the media and presumably to China to avoid connecting the dots between COVID and the CCP. So we got Omicron, or as Joe Biden calls it, Omnicron.
The Delta variant and now the Omicron variant.
I've decided that we're going to be cautious, make sure there's no travel to and from South Africa and 6 other countries.
The variant has only been detected in South Africa right now, and the doctors on the ground there have told the media that the virus mutation is not a huge cause for concern at this point. But that didn't stop the hysteria in the United States. Joe Biden immediately implemented a travel ban to prevent any flights from South Africa to America when the news broke. This is a move that he previously criticized when President Trump implemented a similar regulation of movement from China in February of 2020. He called the bans xenophobic and suggested that it would have zero impact on curbing the transmission of the virus. Biden's big reaction to the Omicron variant inspired doctors in South Africa who are most familiar with it to speak out. They clarified the infection rates and the seriousness of the illness.
And the overall patients that was recorded yesterday was 3,000 and around about 3,700. So our positivity rate is 9.2%. It is more than we would have loved it to be. But looking at the mildness of the symptoms that we are seeing, currently there is no reason for panicking as we don't see severely ill patients.
To emphasize the important thing here, the actual experts are saying there is no reason for panicking. We do not see severely ill patients. If you watch the Sunday news shows, though, it looks like leading COVID spokesperson Dr. Fauci doesn't agree. He thinks we should panic. He spent his weekly hour in the spotlight, fear-mongering, and preaching the inevitability of the Omicron variant on American soil. He also pushed the vaccine and booster shots, seemingly neglecting to mention that current reports from Botswana suggest that their confirmed Omicron patients are vaccinated. Fauci expressed his support of Biden's travel ban and even suggested that the new variant could mean that a vaccine mandate for domestic air travel is on the table again. Has it ever been more clear that he's just addicted to power? But I guess I shouldn't say that. In the age of Omicron, criticizing Dr. Fauci is literally criticizing science because he, and I quote, represents science.
Anybody who's looking at this carefully realizes that there's a distinct anti-science flavor to this. So if they get up and criticize science, nobody's going to know what they're talking about. But if they get up and really aim their bullets at Tony Fauci, well, people could recognize there's a person there, so it's easy to criticize. But they're really criticizing science because I represent science. That's dangerous.
Apparently, the representatives of science is an unelected position, much like the one Fauci holds at the NIH. Fauci's fear-based leadership has already inspired action. New York has already declared a state of emergency to prep for the new variant. They've re-implemented indoor mask mandates in several areas, and New York City has doubled down on their COVID passport efforts, which is basically a vaccine mandate for anyone who wants to work, travel, or, live. Members of Congress who adore Dr. Fauci, much like failed presidential candidate Eric Swalwell, are using the new variant as an excuse to rage against Americans who have resisted the COVID-19 vaccination at this point. He even promoted discrimination against them. He tweeted on Monday that I'm losing my COVID patience. I've tried to reason with the unvaxxed. I've directed some to medical pros. I don't judge, but hear them out and steer them to facts. The unvaxxed love to say it's all about choice, but you know, who doesn't have a choice? My 3 kids under 5. Blah, blah, blah. You have a right not to get vaxxed. Fine. Then business and the government have a right to tell you that you're not welcome to patronize, or you can't get on a plane. Despite all the talk of the newness of the Omicron variant, it seems the solutions many are proposing are the same ones we've been facing for almost 2 years now. Bigger government, more compliance, and a whole world of pain for those who don't like either of those things.